I wanted to start today's video by showing you the newest things that I made this weekend. So these have not been put in the kiln yet, and I cannot wait to see them fired because they're made with porcelain clay, except for that little plate and the puppies. I have to say, working with porcelain is my absolute favorite. I just love the fact that it's transparent when it fires, and it's so white. And yeah, these pieces are still in bisque, so they're yet to be fired. But once they're fired, like they really do look like fine china. So I spent a lot of time painting these little pieces up this weekend. So these are all pieces that I've done on the big pottery wheel, so I throw off the hump, is what they say. So I use about I don't know, a fist full of clay, and then I just keep on making pottery off of the same piece I run out of until I run out of clay. So yeah, I'm super pleased. The hand painting on these ones I think will look pretty good. So these are some of the finished pots that I have done, and I'm going to show you how to make plants today. And I'm going to be using my pots that I've thrown off of the wheel. However, you can use anything for a little planter. You don't have to have like ones like I have. So you could use toothpaste lids, you could use the lids off of makeup, you could use, even milk tops, like the lids off of milk. Like you name it, whatever you can think of, you could use for like you could use for a little pot. I've even seen them done in the little copper lids that you do for plumbing. Like perfect, they make perfect little pots. So these are some of the plant life that I got at Dollarama. So what I did was is I tried to choose ones that had really tiny flowers or really tiny leaves that I could use. So yeah, so you can see some of them have leaves that are so big that there's no way they're going to translate into miniature. So those are the ones that you want to kind of avoid. But this is not an expensive endeavor. I mean, like these are pretty cheap. So most of these cost $1.50, like for the one bundle of flowers, and yeah, I think that that's like super reasonable because you can get a ton out of it. Now this little ball of, I guess it would be ivy, that was the most expensive piece that I bought, but I kind of like the way the leaves look. And you can see here it costs $4. So that's $4 Canadian. I'm sure it's cheaper for you folks in the United States. So yeah, see that one there was a little bit more expensive. That was $2.25. And then this one here, let's see here, it's $1.50. So super reasonably priced, I think. So I've got my little pots out, and I'll show you how I make these little plants. This is like super duper easy. So what you do is you just take some tacky glue and you put it in the bottom of your pot or your thimble or whatever you're using, and then you squish some air dry clay on top of it. So the air dry clay that I'm using here is just the stuff from the dollar store. So you don't have to go all out and buy really super expensive air dry clay. This is just the cheap stuff. So, and then you just squish it into each of the little containers. Now you don't want it overflowing, and you'll see in a minute why. So you want to make sure that it's below the rim of the pot that you're filling up. So as soon as I've got those all filled, I'm just going to move the other ones out of the way. Then you're going to take your tacky glue and you're going to make sure that every single bit of the air dry clay is covered in tacky glue. And you want to be fairly generous with it. You can see here I'm just using the tip of the tacky glue to make sure that every bit is covered. And then you can use, I use a tea bag, but you can use used coffee grounds, or as I prefer to use the tea bags, but or the tea bag. You don't want to use real earth, because if you bring in dirt, it could come with bugs, and you don't want bugs inside of your dollhouse setting. So you want to use either tea or coffee. And then you just go through and you cherry pick all the tiny little pieces that you want to use to make your little plants. So you can see I'm just like finding little leaves and I'm just kind of sticking them in. And like that's full of glue. So those are going to be perfect when they're dry. And you're going to see when this is dry, you won't be able to see like the white spots on it. And like this one here, I'm just sticking it in, and there you go. That's a plant. It's like crazy. Yes, these are not accurate plants. So real plants like this do not exist in reality. However, not everybody can afford to buy artisan made, house plants for their dollhouse. I mean, yes, they're sold and they're absolutely lovely. And yes, I would like to have tons of them. Can I afford to have tons of them? Absolutely not. There are some sites that you can go to online where you can buy beautiful little kits to make like hyper realistic irises and all that kind of thing for inside your dollhouse. And yeah, it's nice to have a few of those, but I just really cannot afford to be buying lots of them. So I figured that this is a nice alternative. So you can see here, see how I just trim all those little tiny leaves off? And there you go, voila, it's like a little plant. I think it works perfectly. So I'm glad that I sped it up though, because it would have been super boring for you to watch it in regular time. I love this little purple one. I think it's perfect just the way it is. That's all that plant needs, is just that. And, again, every single one of them does not have to have a flower in it. I'm just putting these little leaves in just sort of like it's a snake plant. But not a realistic snake plant, but close enough. And I love that little ivy stuff. I think that's just like perfect, because you can just fill a planter up with that, and it looks like you've got some kind of a jade plant happening. I think that looks really cute. So yeah, and if there's a little bit too much in there, that's okay. Just trim it off. So, and you can see with this one here. So I really want to use these leaves, but unfortunately, they're a little bit too big. So all I'm doing is just kind of trimming them down and making them into a usable size. I'm trying to make a little succulent style plant. And once it's done, nobody will notice that those leaves have been trimmed. So now I've got one last one to do. So I'm just sort of sticking those little styrofoam ball plants in there. And again, some of those long style little leaves, and putting those around it, and there you go. So that's my first batch, and I have to say I'm pretty pleased with them. I think they turned out really well. So and as you can see, some of them have flowers, some of them don't, and I think it's a really nice way of showcasing my little pots. So here I am, I'm at Value Village, and I'm looking for some more greenery. And there you go. I found a bag. So this bag is $6.99, but it's got quite a bit of green stuff that's got little tiny leaves on it. And I think this will be really perfect for my little project. when I'm at Value Village or any charity shop, I love it when they put things in the little bags, and I go right to that craft section and I look through all of the craft items to see if there's anything that I could use to make miniatures with. Today, the only thing that I came home with was that bag of greenery, which I'm really happy to have because I only had so much that I got from the dollar store. But you can see how large that bag is. Like, that's just huge. So I'm back home and I'm back at it. So this is my second and third and fourth batch of these. So, um, I spent probably an hour and a half in total making little plants today. But when you see how many I got, I mean, I did quite a few. So again, I trimming leaves off and making a succulent style plant, and I think that looks pretty good. And then this one actually was in the bag from Value Village, these little styrofoam style ones. So I'm just putting some little leaves around it, and there you go, that one's done. And yeah, I guess the sky's the limit when it comes to doing this. I mean, it's really not very difficult to do this at all. So, and it adds so much. I mean, I think it just looks so nice inside of the house to have it all full of like a ton of little plants. So, I would really love to be able to make a little greenhouse. I think that's a project that I'd like to think about working on in the future, and then just fill it plumb full of all kinds of plants in various stages of growth, and maybe even put in a few dead plants and yeah, garden gloves and little packages of seeds and little gardening tools. I think that would be really super cool to do that. So I know it's a pretty common theme when it comes to miniatures, but I think it would be just lovely to be able to make one for myself. I'd like to try and do it in 1/24 scale, but we shall see what the future might hold. So, yeah, so I just figured, well, I'd just show you like how easy and cheap this is. Like, this is not an expensive endeavor at all. So this is what I created today. And, again, this is all Dollarama stuff and stuff from Value Village. So, a very small investment, and I think quite a great reward. So once again, using your toothpaste caps and your makeup lids, you can do that yourself as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way these turned out, and I hope I gave you some good information to be able to create some for yourself, because yeah, again, it's the best to have these inside of a miniature scene. I think it just really adds that pizzazz, that and that touch of color that's super necessary. And look at the mountain of stuff I got from Value Village. Holy Hannah, hey. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to help support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Lisa Dobo. Thank you very much to everyone that has helped to support my channel by going to buymeacoffee.com. It's appreciated more than you know. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. It's free and it does help my channel grow. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. I think I'm 10 people away. And once I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway on my channel. So if you haven't already subscribed, now's the time to do it. Well, thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope that it inspired you to fill your dollhouse up with little tiny plants. Thanks again for watching. And once again, have the best day ever, guys.